Okay, it's super simple to add multiple classes for groups now. So you'll notice if you go to our plan builder, we now have a section for private lessons and group plans. And then if you see, like I did on this one here, if we edit it, what's nice is that you can literally add a bunch of different times for each group. So how did we go about doing that? Well, when you choose multiple days, when you're adding a new group, you just click here to add times for those days. So you could choose Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and then we could choose a different time. So in this case, we'll go ahead and do an afternoon time. We'll do like a 2 p.m. And so what's nice is that it gives you the flexibility to have a group meet many, many times. And then what you'll do is if you enable the drop-in function, you can actually create billing plans that coincide with how many times you want the students to be allowed to drop in each week. So if I click allow drop in, and then I now have the enable how many can actually show up. So let's say I only want like, in this case I have 2, but we could make it 5 to show up. How many do I want to be able to register in total? That would be 100 because you can have many register, but only 5 show up each time. And then you'll notice that if I want to add billing plans for this, basically what I do is I go down to billing details and I can add a plan. So in this case, I could add for $500 a month, I want to let them go ahead and reserve into the class or RSVP, if you will. I'm going to go ahead and let them come in 7 times for $500 a month. And how many weeks do I want them that to be reset? I'm going to do it every week, but you could do it every 4 weeks, how many reserve limit you want. As soon as I click add payment, you'll notice now it's another option in the group. So now I've got a $100 option where they can drop in once, a $200 option where I let them drop in 3 times every week, 5 times every week, and then a $500 for 7 times. So that allows for, if they're signing up online, you can have students register for any one of them straight into the group. And then let's go take a look at what happens when students actually register into that group and when they try to reserve into a class. So you'll notice that if you want several ways to get a student to reserve into the class. One is to create a widget. So you can create a widget with this group as I've done. So I created a widget that displayed this Z1. I chose that. And now you'll notice that when I choose Z1, you'll see that I've got payment options. So I can choose, here's when the class meets, all these days, multiple times. But I can choose, do I want to reserve with a 1 limit, which would be $100, and I can actually see my pricing as I choose here. So this is if a student is going to be brand new joining and they're going to pick which plan they are and register at the same time. You can also send them a link straight to your registration page, but if you want them to choose which reserve limit, the widget might be an easy option. Let's go take a look at if you're having them just register their information and then going to book them into the class with using one of the administrative functions. So what's nice is that if I'm on the teacher schedule, you can now see what students, you can mouse over and see what students are in the group. You can actually do a drop in really quick if a student just happens to show up. The students can RSVP into the group, whatever many times you've allowed. But if you want to book a brand new student and you just had them register with their info and their credit card, and now you're going to actually book them into the class, then you can actually do that as an administrator by just checking book plan. And then similar to the widget, you basically choose which student. So let's say I'll just pick one. We'll choose this Bjorn and Chance. And then what's great is that I can choose the limit I want for those students. So they're going to be on the $300 a month plan. And then the start date is basically in Teacher Zone when the actual first billing is going to happen. I'm going to put it right now because that'll put them in the class instantly. It'll also charge them all and all their credit cards instantly. So go that, and I'm going to hit save and then say, yep, following schedules. And now it's adding those students to the group so that they can also reserve into the group. So if we take a look from a student perspective, they can actually see what other students are in the group and which ones they've reserved into. Let's take a look at that. Okay, you'll notice that in the student app, you can see who's in what class. And then if the class is full and you try to reserve into it, it'll actually tell you that, we're sorry, the class is full. So let's do that real quick. Okay, sorry, this class is full, so I can't reserve into that one. Let me try another one. And then once I reserve into a class, what's nice as a student is it'll show me which one I'm reserving to. If I try to reserve into too many, it'll tell me that I need to upgrade to a higher plan. So there you go, successfully reserved, and you'll see now it says you've already reserved for the class. Super simple.